Welcome to episode 14. What if civilizations are over? So I literally uploaded all the list of videos I could find. I'm going to explain what happened. We saw the collapse of three countries here due to a plague. We saw the creation of Madagascar. We saw some more exploration over here. We saw some more exploration over here. We saw a Russian nation form. We saw a Japanese nation form. Korean. More stuff happened here. I think there was a war actually. And some stuff happened over here. We saw the Spanish colonize a little bit the Americas. Alright, now let's just dive straight in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified of whenever I upload here on this YouTube channel. Alright, so now let's go over here to the Dark Gold Country. In the Dark Gold Country, he's actually going to be able to gain some land over here. In that land, I'll make sure I'm that layer. Nope, right, background. I don't know how to make sure I was on the right layer. But these guys are actually going to be able to get this land from Brittany, as it is not important to Brittany in the slightest bit. And these guys are going to use this land over here as a port. It's going to be a very successful port. And they're gonna go over here and actually reach over here. And I'm going to explore more. Hold on, let me go bring this up. More about is actually now okay. Yeah, so these guys are going to explore more and more. They're actually going to reach the first Great Lake. They're going to reach this big lake here. If you guys know what these lakes are called, well, let me know in the comments. And if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Also, the last time I recorded this Vixo, it got 5 likes, so that was enough to record another episode. So here on the channel, I just never got to it. Alright, so now, let me zoom out. The Dark Gold Nation will set up a colony only in the Americas here. Right around here, as we can see, yeah. They're going to really quickly expand. They're gonna go up northwards here. It's very cold here as we see. But they're not done just yet. They're actually going to go down here. Down here into Central America. Using Spanish ports that the Spanish allowed them to use. And I'm going to actually explore Panama here. Yeah, as we can see. Yeah. And then I'm going out. Okay. So over here, get the order, color. And these guys are actually going to expand over into Panama, as we can see. See, some tribes actually got guns, so that's where they're being able. That's why they're not going to be able to fully colonize it. But they were actually going to support some natives. It is South America here. Yeah, but a lot of it is actually on the land here. Yeah, so the colonization of the Americas has begun. Now the countries are starting to look at this as something they could join in. So Brittany decides to send their people over down here and start exploring like this area here, using also Spanish and forts, which was a very actually essential one. So Spain really wants to keep that colony right there, as it gets them a huge economic boost, and then the most economic rising country in the world here. Or economic significance. Okay, about me. Most significant economy in the world so far. Here in this episode, and his guys are actually going to make a pretty good exploration. So Brittany, they're going to set up a colony. Brittany's now going to set up a colony only over here in the Americas, as we can see, and where Mexico would be at. So colonization in the Americas is doing so far so well, and for this country, and also Brittany. But war is actually going to begin here. Yeah, and this war is it's not really like it's not really like a war. It's kind of like a war, but like a war of tensions, you know. Who's the strongest in the region? Just like deterring each other, kind of like a Cold War. It's between Tibet and these guys. Nice, and it's this happens after a major split. Yo, I was what's betting on this land, and here we'll land into its northern area here. India tried getting all this land, but a country formed here. Uh, oh, yeah, they couldn't do anything about it. I'm gonna make these a called blue nation here. So yeah, these guys formed just about here, which caused India not be able to expand any further. But this is not the only kind of tension we are going to be seeing. Actually, going to be seeing something happen over here to this blue Arabian nation, and that is the breakaway of the east of the is east right? I don't know. Of the dude, what the fuck? Okay, of the eastern Arabian nation here, which colon. These guys are actually going to declare their independence and as a free state here. And the Persians can't really do anything about it. And since it would be way too long of a war to fight. They've already fought multiple broke away states, but this one is way more powerful than it is itself. And this was the most economic powerful stronger, but this is the most military power and also economic area. So if they lose half of the nation, they really can't do anything about it. So these guys, so the Persians, these guys are still gonna be named Persia, but these guys are gonna be called East Persia. These guys are going to expand and upwards, but yeah, and for the first in a bit of its history, we're not done just yet. We're going to see the expansion of this Tibetan nation. And this Tibetan nation is going to expand, and I mean expand. As these guys are going to go northwards here, as you can see, but they're gonna have to keep going back down due to terrain and other areas here. But they're gonna be able to do just this. So, oh yeah, but Tibet is going to expand here. Okay, we're actually going to see another nation form. Actually, oh, wait, can I make this? It's like maybe like a dog. It's like gold. Like a gold, yeah, like that. Alright, so a nation is actually going to form right here as base of the Chinese religion. And they're gonna go upwards here, and continue their growth. And let's continue and go upwards. What happens? Wait, we're 9 minutes in. Alright. Good. Okay, good. But these last ones going to expand and here. And there's actually the country that formed right there, so they kept going. So they had to design their borders in a weird way over there. And they were able to do this. And that country, and showing that form there. Oh, we're gonna color it this color. Fine. I don't know. Yeah, these guys are going to form here. And they're gonna be slowly slow in the beginning, but they might go to a big nation. shit. But what we're actually seeing is a lot of tensions rising in this region right here. As as there was tons of border problems between each country. Here, these guys have a border problem with these guys have a border problems with all of these nations. Here, kinda, you know, doesn't really have a border problem. But all of these guys here all have a border problem, including Tibet. Tibet has a border problem with India. India and Tibet are like, saying so strongly, deterring themselves. And there's a lot of things going on in this Asian region, which might lead to a huge war between nations. And not all at each other, but just like at like one person would just all break out. So just be a bunch of free for alls. So yeah. Now, let's go. Oh, let's actually go over to Europe. Europe actually has been one of the peaceful nations for ever since this, war over here. But really, it's been, where did I even go? What? But, like, this has been one of the most peaceful areas here so far. Legitimately. But we're actually going to see something, something happen over here. And that is in the Italian peninsula. Over time, this country right here has been getting stronger, 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 even stronger than this country right here. And they're gonna declare war. It was a sudden declaration of war, they've had tensions for a while now. They just never really got into it. So they're going to actually move their forces in here, taking this major city. And like, actually, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm a little bit sick. Yeah. But these guys are actually gonna create a circle me here, which goes pretty successful, and they're gonna be able to take over this entire area here, building up a strong front line in this region right here. And this yellow nation wasn't really expecting this, but this alliance here, this economic alliance here, is actually supporting the Northern Italian and the this nation right here because it is much more economically significant to the European continent and sometimes the world here as we know. So that's what's going on in Europe. Up. But we're not done just yet, so I can get have a look at the Middle Eastern states. It's here, and we're going to see these guys declare war on this country right here, which, why this thing even exist? I don't know. Oh, here, well, these guys are going to move their forces in here, as you can see, and this country is way stronger than these guys. Way stronger, and they're just slaughtering these guys over here. And they're gonna go up here and cut it off of any supply routes that could be feeding into this nation here. Yeah. Which somehow causes tensions with the Persians, but let's just forget about the Persians. And these guys will say, yeah, buddy, you are fully joining us. So they will have to join in. But now these guys are facing some tensions with this Mesopotamian nation right here, which calls themselves True Mesopotamia. Yeah, for whatever reason. Even though these guys are actually in the Mesopotamian region, these guys legitimately just stake. But also, these guys over here are actually creating an alliance. And this is a military defector, what am I talking about? A military alliance. Alliance here. Oh, God. Let me go to black. Okay. So, this alliance is between, I guess, I gotta, I'm gonna do circle. No, we already have circles. Ah, maybe diamonds? Yeah, it's still 5. Alright, so these guys are the founding father of this of this defense alliance. Qatar. Qatar will join next. Okay. And also these guys here. Because they're all breakaway states from Persia, and the big state that's joining this defensive alliance is Eastern Persia, or whatever it is. Let me know in the comments about what this should be called. Because it does have Persians in it. It's like West